Hi, everyone. If you read your Vine, you got a little snapshot of what the gospel this Sunday is about. It's actually a pretty long story, so we didn't include it all this week, but it's from the end of Matthew's ninth chapter and a big chunk of the 10th chapter. It's about Jesus doing regular Jesus ministry, which is extraordinary to us, but to him was simply his calling to heal, to teach, and we hear about this word compassion. We hear that when Jesus sees the crowds of people clamoring to him for healing and for guidance, he has compassion for them. We're told that he does this because they are harassed and helpless like sheep without a shepherd. And what we learn from this is that word compassion is not just a feeling, but Jesus shows us that compassion has an active component to it. It leads us to do something in response to that feeling. I know it's really hard to talk about what we can do right now since we're so limited in what we can do and what we should do, since we still have social distancing guidelines. So I don't mean to make you feel guilty about all the things we can't do right now. I instead want to point out all that you are doing. Thank you for your compassion for the church, for your dedication, your generosity, also your compassion towards one another. I hear many stories of you reaching out to buy one another groceries, to run errands, to make phone calls, to cheer people up, and to see how they're doing. People who are working on their gardens. It's a great way to beautify not only your own home, but to beautify the neighborhood and bring joy to people walking by or driving by. All these little things can be big actions for our community, being a listening voice, calling people to stand up for justice, and simply listening to people's stories are also actions that are so important right now. I also want to highlight one other way we can be compassionate and move feeling into action as we enter a new phase in reopening in New Jersey and even here at the church. As we have a little more interaction with one another, I want us to be compassionate in our actions towards one another in realizing that we come from different comfort levels in regards to these safety regulations. Some of us are ready to go out chomping at the bit, ready to interact with one another. Some of us are still very fearful with good reason because of our health and different restrictions. So I ask you to please be kind to one another. Show that in your words and your actions. Realize that some people are not at the point where they want to interact a lot with other people. Some of us still need to stay at home. Some of us will stay in our cars when we come to worship. Some of us are not going to get close if we see someone does not have a mask. Please be aware of where other people are coming from. And not just, again, not just a feeling, but move that into action as we show compassion for one another. That's why we still have quite a few guidelines in terms of social distancing at the church, because we do want to love and care for the most vulnerable in our community and especially in our church community. So again, please show compassion to one another. Thank you for all the ways you are being compassionate to your community and your church, and I look forward to seeing you soon. God bless you and keep you. Amen.